Hello everybody, thank you for joining. Come together. I'm Deborah Mann. It's good to have you. You know that feeling when you want to run away from your body? You just want to run away from yourself because you're stuck in a panic, anxiety, depression, panic, and then we start thinking there must be something wrong with me, as in I've got a tumor in my brain, or there's something else wrong because this isn't normal. Why do I feel this way? You might feel dizzy. You might feel pain, as in burning all over your body when you are distressed or stressed. This is what the body does. The body talks to us. So what do? You can't run away from yourself because that's obvious. And I used to think if I just moved and I went to live somewhere else, then this would go away. It was absolutely horrible. So when I talk to you, I'm speaking from a lived experience. I was told by someone, will you take yourself with you? At that stage, I thought that was an insult. I mean, no, I don't take myself with me. If I just moved to a different place, then I pictured myself on perhaps a beach or in a forest somewhere where I was safe. But that isn't what happens. In fact, it's all about what's going on in our minds. So if you feel this, that you've been under a prolonged time of panic or anxiety and stress, and then you keep falling into depression, and then it goes back to panic and anxiety, and then you start feeling physical effects in your body, you're going to see a doctor. When the doctor rules anything that might be wrong out, it's highly unlikely that you have a physical illness of that one can see or in the body. But it doesn't mean that you have a severe mental illness either. It means that you are going through a period of anxiety, of panic, of stress. And then your body talks to you. Our bodies say it's enough by getting pain, by getting dizzy, by blurry eyesight. The most bizarre things happen when we are in these states of distress. So we're in a state of dis-ease. Nothing's easy. It's just too much. And then you might find that you hit a crisis in your life. Something happens. Perhaps your partnership breaks up or whatever. Something happens. You hold yourself together through that. But once you're on the other side, that's when this all hits. The panic, the strange sensations in your body, and so on. Why is that? Because you're living on survival mode while you are coping with whatever it is that you're coping with. Once that's passed, the body says, okay, it's over. Then it kicks like a mule because your body is holding all the trauma that you're feeling. So never underestimate your trauma because it always comes out in one way or another. You could be the healthiest person on the planet, but it will show up if it's not worked through. There's one thing I can tell you, or not tell you, one thing I can advise you if it helps, and that is if you try to look at certain situations with a stoic attitude, instead of getting too emotional. There are some you can't not get emotional, but if you can become more stoic, which means you look at a situation that you can not change and you say, well, that's the way it is. You just don't give it any emotion. And then your mind is what you're trying to escape from. So your mind has to be told to shut up by ignoring it. So every time your mind comes up with another, this could be wrong with me, and I'm sure I have this wrong, And I'm sure you felt these things before. I have. And I'm convinced this is wrong. No. Let those thoughts go over your head like a cloud, because your mind is not your friend until you've tamed it. It can start making you believe the worst things possible, and that just makes your panic worse. So I would just say, if you have been through a lot of stress, or if you're living in a stressful situation and you find that you're starting to get, as I say, dizzy, or you're fainting, or you get heart palpitations, or you break out in a cold sweat, or you feel like your body's burning up on fire, and so on, have yourself checked, of course, with the doctor. But when your tests, and if your tests come out clear, then please know it is a normal part of having gone through distress. Stress is used very loosely, I think, in what really is stress. Stress is really severe. So we tend to say, I'm so stressed all the time. It's like people who say, I'm so depressed that I never got the job. Well, no, you're not actually depressed, because depression is quite a severe illness. But no one means any harm. It's just the way people speak. So I always say, if you are distressed, or you've gone through a period, or you're going through a period of distress, let it pass over and replace it with a different thought. And get yourself some help to get through it, because that is what's so important. We don't have to push it aside as if it never happened, because traumatic things happen. If your relationship breaks up, that's traumatic, right? So it's not like, well, move on with life, get on with it. That's not stoic, that's just mean. But if you can think of it like this, there's a way to maneuver around trauma, and thereby you kind of disarm its ability to affect you. And that is how I have found the most useful way is to work with it. And that is to get around it and to get you back to the person you are before you started with this terrible period of distress. I hope that helps you, because anxiety and panic, distress, or stress, could be stress, and depression are no joke. They can absolutely ruin your life, and you just don't know what to do. You can't run away from yourself. So think about that, and I'd love your comments below. Please think about joining the channel. Welcome to the new people who have joined. And you just click the little join button and you become a member of the channel, which means we do private YouTube videos together and really Zoom talks together. And I can answer your questions, and it's always good to get together, to come together, as the channel's known. All right then, I hope this is of help to you. If you're going through this at the moment, it will pass. Just know that it will pass, and life will continue as usual. It might just take a little time. Believe in yourself, because you are a wonderful human being. Thanks so much for joining me. I love you guys so much. Bye.